It was a story about Jesus in this in John chapter 2, right? When when he had turned the water into wine. And it was interesting because I read like this little part of the scripture, right? And it was something that I didn't really grasp until I sort of read this particular part of the scripture. Um, but anyway, it's just a short little caption. Hold on a second, y'all. For some reason my Bible app. Okay, John 2:11 says, "This miraculous sign at Cana in Galilee was the first time Jesus revealed his glory, and his disciples believed in him." And today, I'm just thankful for life. I'm thankful for health. I'm thankful for strength. Um, I'm just thankful for everything. God is so good. Thankful for my wife. Um, just being able to have a loving family. Um, I'm thankful for each and every one of you for even waking up this morning to worship with us and take your time out of your days to do that. Um, in this particular part of the scripture, what I found interesting was the fact that Jesus had disciples before he performed the miracle, right? And you could imagine the level of trust that must have um that they must have had, to follow him, to break all religious laws, to basically go against the grain, to follow him, you know. And this was his first miracle was turning water into wine, you know. So it was like you could imagine. I just thought about this part of the scripture, like sort of putting myself in their shoes at this moment, you know. Like his first miracle was in healing somebody where he was like, "Oh, I know that he's going to do good," or you know what I mean. Like his first miracle was turning water into wine, you know. And at that point, when I was reading and I thought to myself, I was like, you know. Do you follow God because you expecting him to perform miracles, or are you blindly following him? You know? And I think that the relationship that I've built with Christ, I built my relationship with him first, and then the miracle came after, right? Because I'm a living testimony to it, for me in my eyesight, to see where I've come from and where God has put me now. My trust in him came prior to all of this. My trust didn't come after. And I think that like it's important for us to realize that, in order for us to allow God to perform miracles in our life or to allow us to witness miracles in our life, we have to put our trust in him first, you know? Like we have to step out on the limb. We have to prove to him that, hey, listen, I'm here to follow you blindly. You know, take me on this journey with you. Let me see the miracles that you can perform in my life. But before you could see the miracle, he needs to see you. He need to see where your head is, where you, where you willing to go, how far you willing to go for him. You can't put the cart before the horse. You got to follow me first and then let me watch the miracles and let you see the miracles that I perform in your life. So thank you everyone for the opportunity to speak. And I continue to pray for God to perform miracles in your life. And most importantly, though, I pray to see each and every one of you keep putting God first in your life. You coming in and worshiping every morning is already a head start. So again, thank you, and I relinquish my mic over to Sister Indira.